let's see how many pages I can read in 1 week. Hey guys, what's up? It's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, and if you've come back, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Today, you guys, we are doing a video that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and today we are going to see how many pages I can read in 1 whole week. I have seen this trend going around on a few different channels now, so I thought I would give it a go. I'll tell you guys right now that I am filming this intro at the end of this challenge, so I will say that this week was very, very interesting. It also like varied each day about how many pages I read per day, so you guys are gonna see what I get into. I'm basically going to take you guys with me throughout the week, and I'm just gonna give you little updates about what I'm reading, how many pages I read a day, and see where we end up at the end of the week. So without further ado, let's get comfy, let's get cozy, and let's get right on into the video. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's weird to start a video on a Sunday, but I think it's gonna be good for me in the long run, you know what I mean? Today, guys, we're starting our first book of this challenge, and we are going to be reading Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Now, I think I have read like 1 chapter of this already, so I started this the night before last, and then yesterday was just so busy filming content that I didn't read at all yesterday, which is really bad. So what I'm gonna do now is go downstairs, get a cup of coffee, and I'm gonna start reading this, and we're gonna see how many pages we get through today. Hello everybody, it is a little bit later at night. Where's my phone? Where is my phone? It is 8:15. I did quite a few things today, but the majority of the day was actually spent organizing and cleaning up my shelves in time for my bookshelf tour, which you guys will have already seen before this video does come out. So I spent most of today doing that and just completely changing up my setup, and I'm so incredibly happy with it. However, I do have a reading update. So I have read almost half, actually more than half of Caraval now, but today I went out and I did some sunbaking, and funnily enough, I just thought if I take a black book out into the scorching sun, it's got to completely burn, right? So I decided to pick up the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I was about to say Pumpkin Spice Latte. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and this is by Laurie Gilmore, and I have read 58 pages of this. So we'll add that to the tally. And then in terms of Caraval, I'm probably gonna keep reading once I get into bed, because guys, this is so good, by the way. Like super easy to read, super addictive. Like you really, every time I like try to stop to get stuff done, I can't stop reading it because it always ends on like a cliffhanger. I have read 212 pages. So today's total count at this point in time is 212 plus 58 is 270 pages, which is like almost an entire book. So I'm gonna get into bed now and we're gonna see, maybe I will check in with you guys in the morning to see how many pages I read. Hello everybody, it is the next morning. It's about 11 o'clock. And I have successfully finally put these photos up on my dang wall. Oh my goodness, it was a mission, but we did it. Let's hope that it actually stays on the wall and doesn't fall again. Hope I'm not jinxing myself, I might cry. Anyways, you guys, I'm giving you a reading update and a page update because this morning I finished Caraval. Oh my goodness, I enjoyed this so much. As I keep saying, I'm so surprised to see how much I am loving like YA, you know, fantasy reads, because, you know, last year, this is just not something that I would have reached for, but I absolutely loved it. I'm thinking I'm gonna give this one 4.5 stars, but in terms of the pages this morning, I read 151 pages and finished Caraval. So that is the page update for day number 2 so far, let's say that. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be filming my bookshelf tour, as I said, and then my plan will be to go out in the sun and read a little bit more of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So I'll give you guys an update when I've read some more pages. Hello everybody, it is probably about 7:30 at night. God, I'm good. 7:39, I was close enough. I'm just waiting for a YouTube video to upload, so I thought whilst I do that, I'm gonna read a little bit more of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Every time I pull this book out, I keep going to say the Pumpkin Spice Latte. Maybe that's just me like needing to go to Starbucks and get one. I was filming and editing all day today, so I did not really have any time to read, and then I was just looking at Colin Bridgerton edits on TikTok. Anyways, let's get into this one and see how many pages I can read before I fall asleep. Hello guys, it's about 9:15, and I think I'm about to go to bed because I am literally falling asleep as I am reading. I told you guys I was going to start reading at about 8 o'clock, whatever that was. I did not, or 7:30, whatever that was, I did not. But I have, funnily enough, actually read 58 pages of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which is exactly at the page that I started at, funnily enough. So I'd read 58 pages yesterday and then somehow read another 58 today, funnily enough, because I ended up on page 116, I think it was. Yeah, 116. So I'm about that far into it. What I'll actually say about this book is I'm sort of like really confused as to how I feel about it at the moment, because it's definitely fast paced, super easy to read, very cute. I think if I had read this maybe like peak fall, when really like peak Halloween sort of time, it might have been more atmospheric. But then like the low-key sort of like downside to this is that I think the female main character is written so like dumb. And I really hate when like FMCs are like purposefully written like they are just like silly, like super childish. That's the word I'm looking for. Like childish. Like this isn't a spoiler, but there's like a bit in this where like her and the main guy are like having a little stakeout, and she decides to like fully like stock up the entire like kitchen with like all these snacks like Twizzlers and like all these candies. I'm like, I get it, it's a Halloween like fall book, but she's like, yeah, I haven't had a sleepover since I was a child. And I'm like, bro, okay, so like you think adults would want candy to, I mean, like, look, I do, but like, do you know what I mean? I think she was just she's written really immaturely. So that's my only downside right now. Otherwise, it is super cute, definitely easy to read. And if I had more energy, I'd probably stay up and read till like the halfway mark. But I am going to leave it here for today, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Also, I totally forgot to say that today's total page count is 209 pages, which is not bad at all. Hello besties, it's the next day. We're technically day 3 now on this little challenge, okay? And I want to give you a reading update because I am like 3/4 of the way through Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I've got my cute little fall vibes in here. It's a reading day today. I've got all my content out, so I'm happy. What I'm not happy about is this, because like in the most respectful way, I want to punch every single character in this book because they are just so annoying. Like, I mean, I've read some books before with some really annoying characters, but I think this one has to take the cake. I'm also just not a fan of like insta-lovey type of things. And this book started out really good because it was like really fast paced. I felt like I was flying through it. And then the characters just got so annoying and pick me. And the main female, I think I said this last night, the female main character in this is like driving me insane. And this man just gave me the ick because he names all his chickens after pop stars. So anyways, in terms of the pages that I've read, I'm at, yeah, so I've read 100 pages of this today so far. I don't know how much more of this I'm going to take. I mean, I'm almost done, so I feel like I should just finish it. After that, I really feel like I need to start a thriller or a dark romance. Like I need something completely different. Like I just finished a fantasy, obviously yesterday, but I think no romance now. I need a thriller or I need a dark romance. So I'm thinking either Her Soul to Take or maybe The Inmate by Frida McFadden. But let's see how much more of this we're going to get through today. This is such a random side note, but does anybody else really miss the Club Penguin jazz music that used to play when you used to go into the cafe? Like, I crave that daily. So I don't know if I can find it on YouTube, but I feel like I need it for the ambience right now. You know what I mean? Good morning, everybody. It is officially day 4. Now, let me just give you an update. Where's that book? So apologies for not giving an update at the end of day 3. Yesterday was just nuts. We had cleaners come and do like the biggest spring clean of our house. And then we had some friends come over for dinner, and it was just a very hard day for me to get any reading done. But I'll give you an update on the pages I read for Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I ended up reading a total of 135 pages of this yesterday, and I actually DNF'd this book at page 250 or 251. And my reason for that is like genuinely, I think I was telling you guys a lot in my other check-ins, was that I literally felt like I wanted to like punch every single person in this book, like in the nicest way. I just felt like they were very immature. I understand that it is supposed to be like cheesy rom-com Hallmark movie vibes, but I genuinely felt like every single character was so annoying. I don't like insta-love. Yeah, the female character irked me, the male main character, but also just like all the townies, like they were all so annoying, and it was just like driving me nuts, and I could not push through and like keep reading this when I just felt like it was going to put me in a reading slump. So unfortunately Pumpkin Spice Cafe got a DNF, which is really, really sad because I really wanted to read the next one, which is the cinnamon bun something or other, because they just look like, these are just the cutest covers, right? And it looks so promising for fall, but I just can't, and I won't be reading that because yeah, that's just not happening. Anyway, in true Belle fashion, whenever I DNF a book and feel like I'm about to go into a reading slump, I do one of two things. I either pick up a book that like I've read before that I absolutely love, that I know will like reignite my love, or of course I reach for a thriller. I don't know what it is, but I think like something about a thriller just really reignites my passion for reading, because I go, oh my god, I actually love this. Super quick, super fast paced. I don't really have to like think too much. You know, like if I were to pick up a fantasy right now, I'd probably like go into the biggest slump of my life, and I love fantasy, of course. Anyways, so yesterday I went to the bookstore and I picked up a couple of new books. I do have like 1 or 2 thrillers sitting on my shelf that I haven't read yet. The rest are sort of like horror that I'm saving for October. Let me show you guys what I got and then we'll talk about the options. At the moment, my camera is actually sitting on a deluxe Hunger Games special edition set that I also bought yesterday, which I might show you guys in a minute. They are stunning. It was a bit of an impulse buy for me, but you guys know I love Hunger Games, and when you guys see these books, you're gonna lose your mind. But anyway, these are the books I bought yesterday. So the first one is called The Chain. This is by Adrian McKinty. I've seen this floating around a lot on TikTok as well the last couple of days. This basically follows this woman who drops her child off at a bus stop. She gets a phone call from a woman shortly after saying that she has kidnapped her child, and the only way for her to get her child back is for her, like that woman, to kidnap someone else's child, and it basically makes them like part of the chain. So it's like an ongoing thing of like, your child won't get set free until you kidnap somebody else's, and it's just like an ongoing thing, which sounds insane. This one is a romantasy. It's not really a thriller option we're talking about, but it's Half a Soul, and this is by Olivia Atwater, which I'm pretty sure everybody said is like romantasy but Bridgerton. I also picked up The Games Gods Play. This is by Abigail Owen. Another one that I've seen floating around a lot. This is not one that I'm considering for right now, but yeah, can't wait to get my hands on this and like actually read it. And the other thriller that I have that I'm contemplating is The Island, and this is the same author. This is by Adrian McKinty as well. Now I'm pretty sure the premise of this one here is this family goes on a nice little family holiday to, I think it's somewhere in Australia actually, and they end up getting held hostage by another family who's living on the island, and apparently it just gets weird and really spooky. So, The Chain or The Island? Maybe I'll read The Island. Okay, let's do this. I have to quickly show you guys these Hunger Games. Are these not the most beautiful, literally look at these editions of the Hunger Games right now. Hold on, let me like tip them out. So we've got The Hunger Games, the first one, which is like this, and on the back it says winning will make you famous, losing means certain death. We have Catching Fire, which they all have these beautiful like details, like the you can see the gold foiling on the leaves there too, and it says Katniss Everdeen survived the Hunger Games, now the Capitol wants revenge. Mockingjay might be my favorite. It's so beautiful, like the purple and the pinks, and then on the back it says if we burn you burn with us. This one also includes the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes as well, so you've got the green foiling, and it says ambition will fuel him, competition will drive him, but power was its price, or power has its price. They're just stunning. I had to have them. Hello everybody. It is, nope, 3:44 in the afternoon. It's been a crazy busy day today, but I have a reading update on The Island by, well, who's this by? Adrian McKinty. So before I tell you how many pages I've read, I thought I would say this book started out, I've taken the dust jacket off, so that's why it looks like this. This book started out really slow, and I sort of was like, oh, is this gonna be boring? Is this gonna be another DNF? I don't know. But now, oh my god, you guys, it's getting so good, because this book is really clever because it is like in multiple POVs. They are in third person, but it's not just like a dual POV. It's like pretty much every single character has a POV. So I don't know if I mentioned it earlier when I was like picking the books with you guys. This book is essentially about a family from the US who comes to Australia on holidays, and basically before the end of their trip, their kids like want to go and see, you know, some of the native animals. So like they want to see koalas and echidnas and kangaroos and things like that. So they meet these people who say like, oh, we can take you to this private island and you can see all the native animals you want, but you got to pay us because it's like a private island. So basically they go over to this island and something happens whilst they're over there, which forces them into a situation where they are being kept hostage by this family who lives on the island. So as I was saying to you guys, like there's multiple POVs in this book. You not only get the POV of like each of the family members, but you also get the POV of the captors as well. And there's quite a few captors. So it's getting really, really interesting. I am on page 154, so I'm pretty much halfway through. I kind of feel like now I want to just sit and binge the rest because it is so good now. I'm getting to that point where like I'm like talking to like myself in the mirror as if they're a person. Like I'll be like, oh my god, is it this? Is it this? Like, you know, like that crazy type of vibe you get when you're reading a thriller. So we'll see how we go. Reading update time. I have just finished The Island by Adrian McKinty. So it brings today's total reading pages to 370 pages. I read this in a day, which is very good. And here are my thoughts. Okay, the first thing that's in my head right now is I never want to read another book like this ever again in my life. Like, that's me being so serious. I genuinely have never had such anxiety reading a book as I had reading this. I think the mistake that I made like going into this is I didn't realize it was going to be like a psychological thriller, because usually like the books that the thrillers that I've read in the past have been more like mystery type thrillers, where this was definitely like suspense psychological. I think I told you guys in one of my earlier like check-ins that the beginning was kind of slow. It was setting up the story for the first 150 pages or so, and then I kid you guys not, from like around the 150 page mark till the end of this book, it was just like non-stop. I was so anxious the entire time reading this. Like, I never want to read another book like this again. Like, in the most genuine way. I'm looking at you dead in the cameras. I'm looking at you dead in the eyes of the cameras. It was too much. I don't know why I finished it. I think I obviously wanted to know how it ended. And regardless of like the anxiety it fed in me, I also just don't think the story overall was that great. Like, I think there was no real plot twist, and like there was a plot twist, but it just wasn't like I guessed it. Like the ending was resolved really quickly. I read another book like this last year. It was called Run on Red, and it sort of gave me the same vibes as this. This very much reads like a film, and so did that book. But again, I think psychological suspense thrillers are not for me. I like watching them in movies, but I just can't do it in a book. So whilst this book was not awful, it was also like not the best. I personally would only recommend it if you like a psychological thriller. So I'm leaning towards a 3-star, maybe like a 2.5 star, because for me, just did not enjoy this. Like there were parts where I was intrigued, but yeah, I think the plot and everything overall was just not followed through very well. So anyway, today's total pages is 370 pages. Hello besties. Now, I got a bit of an interesting reading update for you, because basically it is not the next day, it is the day after that. Because let's just say that yesterday's page reading was a little bit uneventful. I basically only read 26 pages. I started Better Than the Movies yesterday, but basically I ended up in hospital. For those who don't know, I do mention this sometimes on my TikTok page. I do have POTS, which is somewhat of a chronic illness, which means it can just manifest into these wonderful symptoms that make me think that I'm very, very, very unwell. Like, you know what I mean? But it's just part of the condition. So yeah, yesterday was highly symptomatic, was not fun. So I had to go into the emergency room, but everything is good. And hopefully today I can read a little bit more, because this is very cute so far. Right, we're on day 5, so we've got 2 more days left. But I'm excited to get into this. I think a romance is what I needed after finishing The Island the other day. So yeah, we're gonna read a bit more and we're gonna see how far we get. Hello besties and friends. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. It is a couple of days later. I just like for some reason fell into like the biggest reading slump ever. Like every time I was picking up Better Than the Movies, I just was like not interested. I didn't want to read it. It was like, yeah, not a vibe. So I literally have not finished a book in 4 days, which is strange for me. But what I decided to do is, because I feel like I'm worried about being in a slump, I said, let me pick something up that I know I'm going to love. And if you guys saw my monthly TBR, you guys know that these next couple of books I'm going to show you are going to be part of a reread that I'm doing for a very exciting event in my life, okay? I have decided to kick the slump to go back and read my babies in time for season 3, which comes out in a couple of weeks' time. And I am doing a reread of Heartstopper Volume 4, Volume 5, and the This Winter novella. So basically these 3 books here are going to be what season 3 of Heartstopper is going to be based around. I've obviously read all of these before, but I wanted to do like a nice refresher and also tab Volume 5 and This Winter. I have tabbed Volume 4 already, and this morning I have already read like half of this. These are so easy to get through. Obviously, if you guys haven't heard of these before, they are graphic novels, so they're not only like such a great story and like honestly one of my favorite pieces of like literature in the world, they're super easy if you want to kick a reading slump, and they are also graphic novels, so they are so easy and you literally fly through them. Like I sat down and started reading this probably like 20 minutes ago, half an hour, whatever, and I'm halfway through. So I love these guys so much. I love the world. So I'm going to try and read all 3 of these today. And what's awesome about these too is because I get through them so quickly, they're going to bump my page count up very, very high. So let's get into it. Let's keep going and start annotating these 2. Sometimes I forget how much Heartstopper makes me cry, and I also forgot how sad this season is going to be. I just like am not prepared. I'm reading like a certain scene right now and I'm just like, I'm not okay. I don't know if rereading was particularly a very smart option or intelligent option, but yeah, I am crying a little bit. Okay, I'm done with volume 4, which is 353 pages already. It is such a nice sunny day today, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go outside and do some sunbaking, and I might take Better Than the Movies out with me, because I find it hard to annotate obviously when I'm like sunbaking. So I'll probably go read Better Than the Movies, which is downstairs, and then I'll come back and do This Winter, and then I'll read volume 5. But so far today, 353 pages. It's kind of hilarious. Hello, my besties. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll be so for real. But I have read like 100 pages of Better Than the Movies, which is good. I went out and got some sun today, so I've read that much. I don't know if this has just been the biggest fail challenge this week. But you know what? Content is content. You know, life is life. And this is just real. It's just a real what I read this week. It's not my best reading week, but I don't know how much more I'm going to get done before the end of this week, which will be in a few hours. So I'll keep you updated. Just started crying again because I just remembered we're getting Oliver Spring in season 3. And I'm actually not okay. Also, this is such a short novella. Like literally, I'm just about to finish it. It's like 100 pages, which is kind of insane. I should do more of this to catch up to my reading goal. Okay, it is getting super, super, super dark here, but my Heartstopper reread is officially done. So that brings the page count for This Winter was 102 pages and Heartstopper Volume 5 was 320 pages plus 370 something for Volume 4 this morning. So what is that? Let me have a look. 822 pages. Are we sure? Yeah. That sounds crazy, and obviously it's because they're graphic novels that I flew through them much quicker than a regular book. But I'm so excited for this season. There was just so many things that like I just remembered. Like I remember Jonathan Bailey's going to be in this season, and there's going to be... So in the books, Charlie, and if you're familiar, Charlie and Tori have a little brother called Oliver, but they didn't put him in the show because obviously like when you're filming a TV show, like the kids will grow up really fast in real life. So they like didn't put him in the TV show, but they released like some promo images a few months ago, and they announced that Oliver is going to be in the winter episode, I think. So that's why I reread This Winter. I don't know why my camera's not focusing. And the dog, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Alrighty, you guys, that is the end of the page counting. That is the end of our how many pages can I read in a week video. Now, I'm sure you're all itching to know what the final total was, or if you're smarter than I am, you may already have calculated along the way, but I doubt a lot of you did that. Let me get my numbers. So, for each day this week, on the first day I read 270 pages, day 2 I read 209, day 3 I read 241, Day 4, we read 370 pages. Day 5 was 26 pages, 0 pages on day 6. And then on day 7, we read a whopping 879 pages, which brought the total pages for this week up to 1,149 pages total, which is insane. I'll show you guys what I actually got through this week, because even when I went to look at it, it was kind of insane. So obviously I started this week off with Caraval, and guys, I absolutely devoured this. I can't wait to start the next one, but I am sort of like at the moment in the middle of so many series, and I just feel awful because I would love to just sit and like finish them, but I don't know. Let me know. I have been thinking about doing a video where I try to complete some of the series I'm in the middle of. So if you guys want to see that video, let me know, because I'm currently in the middle of like Shatter Me. I'm in the middle of Caraval. I'm in the middle of like so many, like the Kings of Sin series. Like I'm in the middle of so many. Gold Rush Ranch. Anyways, so let me know if you want to see that. I loved this. I did end up giving this book 4.5 stars, I think. It was just so atmospheric. I really felt like I was there, and I cannot wait to read Legendary. Then I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I did DNF this book at page 250, I think. So legit, I only had like maybe that much left of the book. Like, I'm not even kidding, but I could not do it. Like, every single character in this book was so immature. I totally understand that this is supposed to be written like a Hallmark cheesy Christmas movie type of book, but I just like with no word of a lie, every single character in the town, every side character, main character was written like they were 12 years old and they were fully grown adults. I couldn't do it. The naming the chickens after pop stars, yep, you get it, that was a DNF. Then I'm pretty sure that I started The Island after that. And The Island, now that I'm like had a few days to process this, I still think about this book, which is really funny, and I did give it a 3 star. I also just found out that this is going to be made into like a TV series or a movie on Hulu. So apparently that's a thing. Like I said to you guys, this book for me personally just gave me so much anxiety that I couldn't read another book like it again. I think if you definitely love psychological thrillers and like movies that read like a film where you do not get a second to breathe, you will love this, but it is just not for me. I found it so anxiety inducing, and then I ended up in hospital. Not from the book, but you get my drift. Then of course I started Better Than the Movies by Liz, who's this by? Lynn Painter. I don't know why I saw Liz someone. I am currently 130 pages into this book. I have been really struggling. I don't know if it's because these characters are in high school and I just really don't connect with them. I feel like it's kind of immature. I think I don't know, and I love cheesy rom-coms, but I really feel like sometimes the boy next door, rivals to lovers, like it's been there, done that. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm not in the right headspace for this right now, because I know that so many people do love it. I don't know. I'll see if I continue on with it. I honestly have been trying to finish this book for 4 days, maybe 5 days now, and that's just not like me, so we'll see. And then of course you guys saw the last 3 books that I read. Let me get them. Guys, I just got some beautiful new additions to my Heartstopper shelf yesterday. I got like, I have to show you. I just have to show you because I think that you will appreciate it. I got the Heartstopper Volume 5 Special Edition, which has this amazing like blue foiling, and it's just stunning. They are all like special edition hardbacks. And then also these like official fan cards came out yesterday too, which is so cute. Side tangent, I know. But anyway, they're like little cards and they've got the characters on them, and on the back it's got like all about Charlie, like what his pronouns are, his love language, his likes and dislikes, and it's got that for all of them. There's Nick, Charlie, there's like a whole set, so I loved that. Anyways, I of course finished off the week reading 3 books from Alice Oseman. So I reread Heartstopper Volume 4, the This Winter novella, and Heartstopper Volume 5, which as I said during the vlog is what season 3 of Heartstopper is going to be about. I love these. These 2 books will always be 5-star to me. Volume 4 in particular is my favorite installment of the series so far. I feel like it has the biggest emotional journey. I don't know, like everything about this book like rips your heart into 2, but it is just so healing and so informative, and I love it. So I can't wait to see the season in a couple of weeks time. Thank you guys so much again. As always, if you would like to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, I will leave my handles on the screen for you here. And if you aren't already, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you are hitting the notification bell. That way you're notified every time a brand new video goes up. The next video that I have for you guys is super, super exciting. I'm going to be doing a book tag, but I'm going to be doing an astrology book tag, which essentially means I'm going to be giving like recommendations based off of star signs. So I love that stuff too, and I'm super excited to give you guys that video. I believe that's going to be going up Friday or Saturday, so keep an eye out as always. Thank you guys so much again. I really, really appreciate it. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a lovely day or a lovely night, and I will see you all next time. Bye!